Imagine this, a silent shadow cuts across the desert sky, eyes fixed from 50,000 feet above. It's the MQ-9 Reaper, a U.S. drone so advanced it can stalk, strike, and vanish before the enemy even hears the buzz. But just 2,000 miles away, an ominous hum grows louder over a battlefield in Ukraine. A cheap, rugged kamikaze drone dives toward its target. It's the Shahed 136, Iran's flying death trap, simple, slow, but terrifying in its swarming numbers. 2 drones. One built with cutting-edge precision. The other mass-produced on a shoestring budget. But in today's war zones, both are rewriting the rules of combat. So here's the burning question: what happens when the MQ-9 Reaper meets the Shahed 136? Who truly dominates the drone battlefield, quality or quantity, precision or saturation? Let's dive into the ultimate drone face-off that's shaping modern warfare, and could define the next global conflict. MQ-9 Reaper, the sky's silent assassin. The MQ-9 Reaper, developed by General Atomics, is the U.S. Air Force's premier long-endurance, high-altitude drone. First introduced in 2007, it was a game-changer, turning unmanned flight into a deadly precision tool. Speed, 300 mph, 480 km per hour. Range, 1,150 miles, 1,850 kilometers. Endurance, over 27 hours. Payload, Hellfire missiles, laser-guided bombs, sensors. Cost, around $30 million per unit. The Reaper is not just a spy drone, it's a lethal hunter. With satellite-guided weapons and real-time data links, it can track and eliminate targets with surgical accuracy. Shahed 136, the flying sledgehammer. The Shahed 136, built by Iran Aircraft Manufacturing Industries, is a very different beast. Often launched by Russia in the war against Ukraine, this drone isn't about finesse, it's about impact. Speed, 115 mph, 185 km per hour. Range, up to 1,200 miles, 2,000 kilometers. Endurance, several hours. Payload, 88 pounds of explosives. Cost, estimated under $20,000 per unit. Nicknamed the Flying Lawnmower, for its noisy engine, the Shahed 136 is a kamikaze drone. It slams into its target, self-destructing in the process. Cheap, disposable, and brutally effective. Sensors and targeting. The MQ-9 Reaper carries multispectral targeting systems, including infrared, laser, and synthetic aperture radar. It can spot a human from miles away. The Shahed 136. No onboard sensors. It follows pre-programmed GPS coordinates. Once launched, there's no turning back. Navigation. Reaper uses encrypted satellite communications for real-time remote piloting. Shahed relies on basic GPS or GLONASS, and is highly vulnerable to jamming or spoofing. Weapons. Reaper carries AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, GBU-12 paveway bombs, and other precision-guided munitions. Shahed 136 is the weapon. It delivers one strike by crashing itself into the target. Survivability. Reaper is fast, flies high, and can evade some air defenses. But it's still vulnerable to modern SAM systems or even enemy fighter jets. Shahed is slow and dumb, but its small radar signature and overwhelming numbers make it hard to stop every single one. MQ-9 in the real world. The MQ-9 Reaper has been a key player in U.S. operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and Africa. It's been used for counterterrorism strikes against ISIS and Al-Qaeda, surveillance missions over hostile territories, support roles for manned aircraft and ground troops. Notable missions. 2015, MQ-9 eliminates ISIS leader Mohammed Emwazi, aka Jihadi John. 2020, struck and killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in a controversial Baghdad airport operation. The Reaper is known for precision, but also criticized for civilian casualties in contested areas. Shahed 136 in the real world. Deployed by Russia in Ukraine, the Shahed 136 has been used to terrorize cities, energy infrastructure, and frontline positions. 2022 to 2023, hundreds of Shaheds were launched against Kiev, Kharkiv, and other cities. Swarm attacks overwhelmed Ukrainian air defenses, causing power outages, deaths, and destruction. Ukrainian forces have had to adapt with electronic warfare systems, mobile gun units, and anti-drone weapons. Despite being basic, the Shahed has forced nations with superior technology to scramble. That's power in numbers. MQ-9 Reaper Strategy, Precision Dominance. The Reaper strategy is all about situational awareness and surgical strikes. It acts as a persistent eye in the sky, collecting intel and striking only when the moment is right. Tactics include high-altitude surveillance and engagement, coordinated strikes with special forces on the ground, target tracking for hours or days before launch. It's a patient, deliberate tool. One Reaper can eliminate high-value targets and avoid civilian casualties, when used correctly. Shahed 136 Strategy, Saturation Warfare. The Shahed doesn't wait or think. Its tactic is overwhelm. Launched in swarms of 10, 20, or even 50. Mixed in with cruise missiles to confuse air defenses. Targets infrastructure, fuel depots, or barracks. While individually weak, Shaheds are deadly when used en masse. Think of it as a brute force strategy in the sky. This is where things get real. 1 MQ-9 Reaper equals $30 million. 1 Shahed 136 equals $20,000. For the price of 1 Reaper, you can build 1,500 Shahed drones. It's a shocking asymmetry. While the West builds high-tech precision, the East is betting on cheap mass production. The Reaper is a scalpel. The Shahed is a hammer. And in modern war, sometimes the hammer gets through, just by being relentless. MQ-9 Reaper weaknesses. Vulnerable to enemy fighter aircraft, like Iran shooting one down in 2019. Can be jammed, spoofed, or hacked if comms are disrupted. Expensive, every loss is a huge setback. Shahed 136 weaknesses. Easily jammed by electronic warfare. Slow and noisy, detectable by visual or audio means. Can't adapt mid-flight, once launched, it's locked on. That said, the Shahed's simplicity is its strength. No signals to intercept, no pilot to target, just a flying bomb. This isn't just a face-off between two drones. It's a clash of philosophies in modern warfare. The United States focuses on precision, intelligence, and surgical capability. Iran and its allies focus on mass production, asymmetric tactics, and overwhelming numbers. In Ukraine, this has led to a dangerous dynamic. For every drone shot down, more arrive the next day. Air defense systems are burning through millions of dollars of missiles to shoot down $20,000 targets. Meanwhile, countries like China and Russia are watching closely, learning how to merge AI, swarm tech, and cheap manufacturing to tip the scales. Even the US is adapting, developing cheap drone interceptors, autonomous counter-drones, and AI-guided Reapers. Let's be clear, the MQ-9 Reaper is far superior in technology, lethality, and versatility. It's the gold standard for drone warfare. But the Shahed 136 is winning battles, not because it's better, but because it fits a new kind of warfare, fast, cheap, and relentless. In a one-on-one match, the Reaper wins every time. But in a real-world war zone, where cost, saturation, and infrastructure matter, the Shahed has proven it can punch way above its weight. So the real winner depends on the battlefield. The drone war is just beginning. From high-tech killers like the MQ-9 Reaper to cheap kamikazes like the Shahed 136, the skies are more crowded, and more dangerous, than ever. This is the future. Machines fighting machines, precision versus chaos, millions versus billions. And somewhere in the middle, soldiers and civilians pay the price. Subscribe to Machine Squad for more deep dives into the weapons shaping our world, and the future that's already here.